broadcast worst ISP in Moscow. I need to test connection is great as always. Thank you. Worst. Say something.
Bebop and Rocksteady defeated the Shredder and Turtles forever, and I find that hilarious.
Broadcast worst ISP in Moscow. I need to test connection is great as always. Thank you. Worst. Say something.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Okay, it's working.
Sweet.
I can now share it on my log, and we can start.
4 freaking tabs open. I can get rid of the Golden Week tab.
I have so many Steam games I can probably not play the same game twice on stream ever.
Gonna eventually get to the point where we're playing Doki Doki Literature Club.
What's wrong with Doki Doki Literature Club?
Huh?
What is wrong with Doki Doki Literature Club?
Nothing from a certain perspective, but just like I couldn't.
Yeah, I know it.
I found
it's kind of pretentious and memey.
Yeah, and the whole mess with your files as you're playing the game thing, and you can never play. Because I was gonna do like each girl like on a different playthrough, but then certain characters had to go and kill the first girl I chose, so then the playthrough wasn't the same again. I guess that's part of the experience, but I just
You can at any moment before the final choice with the suicide girl, you can go back and play the other routes. It only
that's good.
only becomes unplayable if you make the final choice and she chooses to commit suicide. Well, she chooses to commit suicide regardless, unless you do every go.
Oh my lord, it's like so much. Anyway, we're on, right?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, we just been sitting here talking about Doki Doki Literature Club. Yay! So the stream started, and we're gonna talk about nerd things now because that's what we do.
So, biggest news of the day, of course, is the release of the horrendous trailer for the new Sonic movie, and it is really, really bad.
Freaking okay! Biggest problem that somebody has already fixed with an edit. Why is it Gangster's Paradise?
I don't know.
When has that been Sonic's thing?
Isn't that
And
song
you go.
actually? Isn't that song explicit? At least.
Do it. Back.
For the had to restart the whole stream.
Oh really?
Come on, come on. Does it show up? Well, for the love of God.
I don't want to fix my channel art. Go away.
Yeah, I think we are live.
Are we?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Do it. Back.
Do it. How do we start
Yeah.
the whole stream?
Oh, really? It appears to still be frozen on my screen.
Come on, come on. Now, from what I'm hearing, does it show up? I opened the stream directly, and it's working. I hear sounds. Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay, it's going.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was listening to make sure.
Okay, we should just continue.
Okay, so yes, my radical idea about
Well-
Sonic. So this movie should not have been released in this decade.
This movie should not have been released at all. Let's start.
Well,
with
no,
that.
but my thing is, the whole Sonic attitude craze was like way popular back in the 90s. So that's probably when this movie should have been released alongside like this
the
Mario
Sonic
Brothers
had another
movie.
big craze in the early 2000s when it was, a big thing with the furry community, all the Sonic OCs. So like, no, it's actually more like late 2000s.
I'm just saying,
It was a high time
this-
for Sonic. This
yeah,
is
I'm just
way,
saying this
way
game
too
is
late.
late. Yeah. And I don't know if a Puppet Sonic would have been as good as
The
Mario
Sonic
Brothers
had another
movie.
big craze in the early 2000s when it was, a big thing with the furry community.
I'll hold my thoughts until you fix it.
OCs. Yeah, so like it's
Yeah, but I'm-
connected and it says it's live.
Okay. Well, to answer your question before it froze again, Ultraman Taiga is the newest one, and he's the son of Ultraman Taro, apparently.
Which one is the CG one on Netflix?
Oh, that's original Ultraman.
Yeah, that OG Ultraman.
Well, the son of OG Ultraman. I don't know, it's in this completely different universe where the Ultramen aren't big, they're just suits, and I don't know, it's weird. I haven't watched it yet, or read the manga.
I think they should prioritize that for now because it's releasing in English. A really good idea for Sentai to diversify to the West, regardless.
But the cool thing about
Not
Ultraman
Sentai
Taiga...
Couple.
Yeah. The cool thing about Ultraman Taiga is that it's one guy that can transform into 3 different Ultramen from 3 different galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Taiga, who is the Ultraman of, the normal galaxy, who is the son of Taro. You got Ultraman Titus, who is the Ultraman of a different galaxy that the anime Ultramen are from. Not the anime that's on Netflix, there was an anime before that.
Okay.
And then you got Ultraman Fuma, who is from the same galaxy that Ultraman Orb and Ultraman Rube are from. So
Ultraman seems to be really big on continuity porn.
yeah,
Much bigger than Kamen Rider, if you can believe it.
or Super Sentai, because like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, they only start getting into continuity when like movies happen.
Yeah.
No, Ultraman's all the time, spin-offs and oh my god.
Yeah, it's weird.
But somehow they're all on different alternate Earths, as the Ultraman G movie put it, and my head wanted to explode. So I just
So it's like Marvel DC thing with,
yeah. But they can somehow also like travel between the alternate Earths whenever they want, because Ultraman Orb. Oh, my plant was destroyed. Well, time to go to the next one. It's like, it made no sense to me, and I don't care. And
So it's
I don't
almost
know.
Rick and Morty logic.
kinda, yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know. But yeah, that was all I had to say about that because, you know, accessories as power-ups apparently.
That's not unusual.
Yeah.
What's new?
We also got our first official look at the Ultra Common Rare Greece Perfect Castle. Or Perfect Kingdom, my bad. Not the form, but the item.
Oh, okay, so it's going to be his ultimate form since Grease Blizzard sucked so hard.
Yeah, it's going to be a form in the movie that's coming out for him.
Jesus, there's a lot of movies coming out for past seasons.
Yeah, because,
Well, yeah, it's the end of the era. Makes sense.
yeah, so Perfect Kingdom Greece is it's gonna combine the power of the three crows.
That I guessed by the name.
Yeah, and you know it's based off the item itself is based off the Crow's dragon
Mm-hmm.
with like a castle in the middle, and then the head. What would be the head and tail of the dragon are the owl and the stag beetle.
Okay, makes sense.
And you put the robot bottle in, and yada yada yada.
It makes a lot of sense that he would inherit the powers of his Nakama.
Yeah. We got a trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters that I haven't seen yet.
A few of the people I know on Twitter are absolutely ecstatic about it. I hear the first Godzilla is pretty good. In that
I don't like-
continuity. I don't like how dark it is. You can't see shit.
Well, like, I saw parts of that Godzilla movie, and yeah, it was really dark, and the monster designs weren't that good, sans Godzilla. But I do like that they're bringing Rodan, Mothra, and Ghidorah in, and all those designs look great. If only it was
but
bright
I don't
enough for
know.
me to
I
fucking...
just wish they were better paced. And like you're bringing all of them back with no like
I think they're trying to do a Godzilla Final Wars thing, where, like, Godzilla just...
like Godzilla Final Wars was supposed to be the final Godzilla movie, period. It was supposed
Yeah.
to be, well, at least in case they never get to make another Godzilla movie.
Which is why we have to blow up Zilla now.
Yeah, so we are just celebrating everything about Godzilla. This is not supposed to be that. This is the third movie in the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah, because King Kong.
yeah.
I was like, third? But yeah, King Kong, I forgot about that.
Why not make a, you know, a separate Mothra movie, a separate Rodan movie? Okay, maybe not
Because-
Rodan, Mothra. Mothra definitely deserves a standalone. She had standalones before, like a whole series of them, and I heard.
Well, I think the problem is that, like, the normal person just knows Godzilla. They don't know all the monsters he's fought, so they're trying to, like, squeeze as many in as possible. Which I don't exactly agree with, but hey, what are you gonna do?
But like, yeah, a normal person didn't know who the fuck Iron Man was, who the fuck Captain America was, back when MCU started,
Yeah.
because they never had a successful movie, and especially Thor. Who the fuck was Thor? Nobody knew Thor.
I don't know. I can't tell you because I've always been kind of a little bit of a comic book geek, so
Yeah,
I've never
me
been.
too,
Like,
but Thor was like one of the least known Marvel characters outside of the comics. So, like, for the layman,
yeah.
never really had a good animated appearance. Never really had a good movie. Nothing. Captain America is
Yeah.
at least iconic, you know, as a World War II propaganda thing. You know that he existed.
Yeah.
And yet MCU worked with those B and C list heroes, made them into household names. So what's stopping you with Godzilla?
Let me see what else is happening. Oh, Common Era Music is now legally streaming on Spotify.
Oh, that's really cool. Too bad Spotify doesn't work in Russia. So I illegally stream it from VK.
We got some Kishu
Wait, if it's
Sentai
streaming on
researcher
Spotify,
scans.
it may be on Yandex Music. Let me check. It may be either on Yandex Music or maybe Google Play. Who knows? Right, how would I even... I'll just type in Kamen Rider, see what comes out. I just get Winona Rider.
Yeah.
Oh, no! I get Ricardo Cruz doing Kamen Rider Black RX. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Oh, we've discovered something.
Okay, that is weird. But I'm not risking, getting us copyright striked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was Kiva. There was the Kamen Rider Kiva figure arts and this pimp chair and pimp motorcycle coming out.
And they what?
With the Kamen Rider Kiva SH figure arts coming out, they're also doing a set that includes his pimp chair and his bike.
Oh, pimp chair, right.
Yeah.
I sometimes forget about magnificent pimp chair of Kiva.
Which, fun fact, the Kiva figure arts is releasing in America.
1 second. Set this page? Okay. Because the... Right, anyway.
But yeah, the Kiva figure arts is releasing in America through GameStop.
Nice.
So,
honestly,
I have that to look forward to in
wish
July.
they started releasing like DVDs of Kamen Rider series like they do with Super Sentai.
I'm wondering why they haven't yet, because like they're so intertwined with each other that I wouldn't. And there's obviously a market for it.
There's
about
a
as
market
big as
for it. It's one production studio, Toei. So
yeah,
it's not like it would be hard to negotiate if I say it right. And like Toku is a growing thing in America for adult fans. It's not like you, I don't know, just be TV Nihon or someone, but buy their subtitles. I don't know.
and the site I'm looking at is saying there's a season 3 of some anime called Chihayafuru, but I have no idea what that is. But apparently it's popular if it's getting a season 3, so whatever. A few months after the movie release, we finally have the Muscle Galaxy full bottle being released. Or Cross Evil, or whatever.
I have not watched the movie yet. I have not watched a single movie yet. It's going to change, but I don't know. I haven't watched Kamen Rider in a while. My life has been kind of hectic lately.
I'm actually kind of surprised that you haven't watched any of
now
them.
because I'm trying to quit drinking. At least,
Yeah.
drink.
I was surprised you haven't watched any of the movies, considering how much you like Gaiman Drive, and those were two of the first ones to have the whole Gaiden movies after the series ended.
Because I just downloaded from the dub, from the subsites, the raw TV back, and didn't bother to watch any of the Gaiden movies. I haven't even watched any of the Rohan Kashibi OVAs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not yet. I don't know, I have so much things to watch. Really hard to squeeze those extra non-canon things.
Yeah, I get it. Well, like even with the Commodore, they've been doing that for practically every season. Like, Gaim had the
Yeah, like I really need to watch the Nadeshika one for Forza because that's apparently actually plot important.
well, there was like the Commodore Duke guide in
Yeah,
which like kind of gave us some background and some stuff. There was the Commodore Baron one that also gave us some background stuff about Kaito.
there's the Zack one where he gets an upgrade because he was so popular.
Yeah. With Drive, there was the Commodore Chase and Commodore Mach ones. What the hell is that?
What?
Either a plane is taking off or the sky is angry.
Maybe it's the rain.
It was raining really hard yesterday. No,
Man, I would
no,
kill
it's
for
a
some
sky.
good rain
It's
with like
it's a plane. Piss off, Air Force. I'm in America. I could yell at the military.
Murica!
All the time. Spin-offs and oh my god, it's just
Yeah, it's
really loud. But speaking of spin-offs, the Commodore Brain, aka the first Reiwa Kamen Rider, was released and subbed just a few days ago.
Okay, so it's a Reiwa era. I need to remember it.
Technically, he is the first of the Reiwa era, yes.
That's cool. Good for him.
He's
Stinky Murder Boy. Stinky Murder Boy representation.
see, freaking Toei in the last few years, man. Like the Brain thing was just a April Fool's joke. It was like, oh, to come out in 2021. Nope, it's here now. And then like we have the Commodore Shinobi Rider time, the Commodore Ryuki Rider time, all of this stuff.
Imagine if they actually did Shinobi at the full series unexpectedly in, next.
It would be interesting considering what I've seen from the first two episodes of Shinobi. Do you know the story of Shinobi?
No, I just seen his introduction in the episode where he was introduced. I didn't even finish the episode because I was going to a rough patch.
Well, like apparently because to like fix the resources, the Japanese government makes everybody in Japan learn ninjutsu.
Oh, that's cute.
So now it's just a ninja society.
That's like the plot of what was it called? Shaolin Soccer. That's how it ended. Only with
Really?
Shaolin Kung Fu instead of ninjutsu.
You know, it's like that post Naruto version of like ninjutsu where they can just conjure water and all that.
That is so cute. I would kill
And
to
so
live in
the-
that society.
But you know, the main character he is Commodore Shinobi, so he has to pretend to be an awful shinobi.
Aww.
And like his sister, he has the sister, not sister, that's not actually his sister. So I don't freaking. It's all over the place, but it's
So
interesting.
He's sort of like AG in crossovers. Not the cool, tragic AG in his own series, but the goofy, clumsy AG in crossovers.
Well, they're both poor, so.
AG is not poor.
Oh, I was talking about Commodore AG, but like Commodore AG. O's.
Oh, yes. He's not poor.
Yeah.
He
Well,
is.
Well, I know he's like the son of a rich guy, but like he chooses to be poor.
Yeah.
Unlike Kamen Rider Shinobi, who's poor out of the fact that he doesn't work and spends all of his time being a Kamen Rider,
Aw, that's also cute.
and also because he has to pretend to be bad at ninjutsu, and everybody needs ninjutsu.
Fucking hate
But-
those segments. Fuck you.
Angry keys and eye noises.
Oh, I wish my voice was halfway the time.
Keys in the eye. Like, I can never catch her videos after they're subbed, but I always get them before they're subbed. And like just listening to her speak Japanese, not Japanese, English randomly.
Well, that's what Japanese people do.
Yeah. Well, it's like just watching the videos where she tries to speak English for like a challenge or something, and she has no idea. Oh, it's great. Did I ever tell you about that time I watched an AKB48 special?
Nope.
And there was like all the challenges revolved around speaking English.
What's AKB48?
And most, huh?
What's AKB48?
They're that really big J-pop group.
Oh,
The-
okay. The only big J-pop group I know is Moni Musume.
But like,
Emerald.
but like most of the girls, there's only like 6 of them out of the many couldn't speak English very well because they're Japanese. And then there was the one girl that was completely fluent, and her voice dropped like 3 octaves. I swear to God, every time she spoke
Wow.
English.
Yeah, because she's not trying for a cutest voice.
Because no one. Oh Lord, it's just like it blew me away every time.
They're not speaking in their real voices.
Yeah, I
Regularly.
guess that makes sense because idol culture is horrible.
Idol culture is horrifying, but Japanese idol culture is a little bit better than the Korean one. A little bit. Still horrifying.
I still.
But you know,
Go ahead.
it's just that the Korean one is infinitely worse.
Yeah, I still like that one post on Tumblr that's like, you think the reason there's no guys in Love Live is because they're all lesbians or something, but no, it's because if a guy saw Nico and his waifu have a boyfriend, he would shoot up a school or something. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. Oh, and a couple
Lord.
producer probably would have fired her on the spot.
Freaking Love Live. Just the whole thing, it boggles my mind. Cause like, they're not real, right? It's like some people act about Love Live the same way like fangirls act about BTS.
But they're not real.
Which, yeah. Even with BTS, did you see my post like while I was on vacation about how like how there were BTS fangirls messaging the freaking CEO of YouTube on Instagram because BTS wasn't getting as many views as they thought they should, and they thought that she was.
Yeah.
And now it's black.
Now it's probably just my screen.
No, it's. Oh yeah, now it's just your screen. Do you think One Finger Death Punch was just maybe too much for it because of how fast it was, or?
Yeah, it could be actually. It's not the graphical intensity that's the problem. It's, it's the amount of shit on screen.
Yeah. Well, it's not like you're playing a Toho game or something.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
I can't imagine playing a Toho game. I will not be good at it. I tried playing Exceed. It's a Toho clone. Well, I didn't get far.
I think the only like true bullet hell I've ever played was the These series of Flash RPGs called Epic Battle Fantasy.
Yeah, I know that one, of course.
Yeah, well, they made a bullet hell at one point. And I tried playing that, and I was not very good at it. So,
Yeah, Stellaris is going to take a fucking while to load. That's what it does. Oh, there should be some space on screen already. At least for a brief while. Meanwhile, I can boost again. We should like watch and react to videos or something next time.
yeah. Oh, good to know when watching one of my videos, they recommend another one. Videos down. Thanks, YouTube. Top-notch system.
I can do something dumb in Stellaris and we can make fun of that too.
Okay, that works. Because I'm honest. So yeah. Besides talking about my woes in Kingdom Hearts 3 critical mode.
Do you know what Stellaris is, or at least can you guess? I think I've told you before.
Which I mean sometimes for anybody that cares.
What?
I'm planning on streaming some of my playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 3 critical mode just because, like, I'm having some reactions to this I'd like other people to see.
Kingdom Hearts 3, I wish I could play this game again, but I need to play the first two ones at least.
At the very minimum, but you'll still be confused as shit.
And I need to watch the movie that condenses the plot, like on YouTube.
Yeah, well, Kingdom Hearts 3 has some things called Chronicles on the main menu that, like, give you rundowns of what happened. And they do have, like, story subsections within the Gummy phone, so there are ways to catch up if you're being vigilant.
It's so weird for this series to be so complicated.
Oh, I posted a thing on Tumblr yesterday about a plot hole that I realized that wasn't actually a plot hole, because if you look in the Ansem reports, which is this optional thing in the thing, and you're like, oh my lord. It's just all over the place. You have to look at so many things and play all these games, and like, I enjoy it for that, but I also think it's kind of shit. Turning down the graphics quality.
And I need to restart it now, come on. How bad is it going to lag?
Oh, looking at this.
Oh man, it's lagging so hard.
It's going through the recommended videos based on this. Remember Bully Hunters? Remember how that was a thing?
Oh my god, don't remind me. That was so much cringe. How the fuck is Stellaris lagging? It's not graphically intensive game.
We never forgive you. Other than that, I've been watching that big 10-hour series by Mahler, which is a response to and critique of Dark Souls 2 by H. Bomber Guy.
Yeah, I watched that.
I'm on part 7, I think, of like 10.
Oh right. Yeah, those videos are super long.
Well, Mahler always makes really long videos. Like his Captain Marvel video was like freaking 2 hours long in and
Yeah, I
of
don't I
itself.
don't get why people hate him though. It's like it's fun. Well, it's not so much fun. It's a good brain gum for when you're doing something else.
Yeah. Well, like I think they dislike him for the same reason that they dislike a lot of critics. That if you're a critic of anything, you know,
Yeah,
opinions is impossible. Apparently,
but like people mainly criticize him because his videos are long and he nitpicks. Well, yeah, but that's the appeal.
so are Joe Rogan's. Like all he does is podcasts.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
Basically, monologues are just scripted podcasts in nature.
That's so dumb. Actually, why would you? I did pretty much nothing but long videos for a while. That's such a dumb critique.
Exactly.
Oh, but like I cannot get past a certain point of Dark Souls 2. I always have to quit just because I don't like the game. And then watching his critique of like H Bomber Guy's defense of it actually helped me formulate why that was.
And why?
Outside of just like being mad. Well, it's because the game doesn't feel fair. It just mobs you with enemies. Nothing feels connected. There's not really that much to go. Like what most people consider the tutorial boss, I killed second because the game gave me little to no direction.
Oh,
Like Dark Souls 1 does the same thing, but they at least funnel you towards where you're supposed to go. Because like there's 3 ways you can go in the main area. One leads to a bunch of skeletons that are way too tough for you. One leads to some ghosts that you can't even hit. So there's only one other way to go. And that way takes you to some enemies you can kill. So it funnels you towards where you're supposed to
I
go.
got Dark Souls on Xbox Live Gold on my 360.
Did you ever
long
play it?
time ago. I beat the tutorial area. I stumbled upon the skeletons. They killed me, and I kind of fizzled out after that. It's not my genre.
Yeah.
That's why I don't intentionally buy Soulsborne games.
I started with Bloodborne, which is my favorite game of all time, then played 3, then got the
Bloodborne is a little
remaster.
bit more action-oriented.
Yeah. Which suits me a lot. Which is why whenever I play Dark Souls games, I try to make it as much like Bloodborne as possible. Because like in Dark Souls 3 and 1, there's this weapon called the Butcher's Knife.
Uh-huh.
And basically what its ability is that it gives you a little bit of HP every time you swing it. So basically it's just like, you know the rally system in Bloodborne?
Yeah, I know, where you get blood on you from killed enemies. You can regain health. I played Bloodborne.
Yeah. So
Did
basically
not
it turns
fight myself,
every...
but I played it.
Yeah, it turns every hit in Dark Souls into a rally hit in Bloodborne, and I love that. It doesn't heal as much, but it heals some.
Makes sense.
So I always get that weapon. I make a strength build around it, and I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
from a
soon
completely
that's better
different
for
game.
you.
Come at me, scrubs.
Okay, let's start a new game.
50 million times because I'm not playing it the way it's intended. But I had fun, and that's all that matters.
Right. I'm going to make a new empire and make it something really stupid and ridiculous.
But also watching in defense of Dark Souls 2, the Mahler reaction to it, he actually taught me a way that I can make the game trivial and actually probably make it better for myself, so I might do that.
The healing items.
Yes, the basically infinite healing item. So I might just do that. Because it literally just requires being the first boss. That's all it requires. Oh, Dark Souls 2. You silly, silly game. Those are some interesting alien designs.
Yeah, as you can see, you can choose from humanoid, machine, mammalian.
Mushroom.
Yep. So who should I be? A plant or a mushroom this time? I can make the Great Beetroot Empire.
The Great Beetroot Empire. Do that. Fungoid. This humanoid, machine, mammalian, reptilian, avian, anthropoid. Isn't that just spider?
Anthropoid are all insectoids.
Okay. Reminds me of this book I read in middle school, which was based. It was some. I don't remember anything about it. All I remember is that there was like white spiders from Saturn that controlled the government through robots. There was a mansion in space, and I don't know.
Okay, so what names can we have? Trunk of Yggdrasil. Bud Light. Okay, I like that.
Bubble. Oh my god.
I have the possibility of rolling the name Bud Light, so why not?
Oh, people are already redesigning screenshots of the Sonic movie to make him look like actual Sonic.
Okay, so beetroots are definitely agrarian.
Gonna.
They are slow breeders because... No, they're slow learners because they are beetroots.
I like this tweet from Mark Kern. When CGI has brought us so far away from the old man in the suit way of doing things, Sonic movie goes right back to making CGI look like a man in a bad fursuit.
Oh, that's good.
Alternative title: Sonic Fox the movie.
And they'll be
Sonic
charismatic. They're weak, they're slow learners, but they're charismatic and agrarian. Why the fuck not?
Plants are slow learners. That sounds about right.
Yeah, like that name. So what should their planet look like? Probably... Tundra. I think tundra. And it should be a planetoid city because I'm lazy and they don't give you that many city options. Now
I'm just reminded of.
Yeah,
I'm just
go.
reminded of Ben 10. I'm just trying to Ben 10 right now.
I have not watched Ben 10, though I heard I should regret that. So we should make them. I think we should make them really spiritual.
Spiritual plants.
They believe in the higher something, and they
The higher seed.
should be. I don't know. Let's make them xenophiliac. So they
What?
want to live, coexist with others.
Okay.
And they will be an oligarchy because you can't have the masses controlling themselves.
Wait, what? Good lord.
Actually, I'm probably going to make them dictatorial because I want one very specific policy. Can I select it? Right. Well, no, I
I
can't
got very just.
select it yet. So we're going to start as an oligarchy. We can always reform later.
I got very distracted because I looked at the Ben 10 wiki
So,
and I caught up on some things I had missed in the series I hadn't. Oh, there's so many weird things going on. Like the reboot just went off the wall. So how exactly does this game work? You just rule an alien society?
what?
This game, you just control an alien society?
Faith manages.
Yeah, kinda.
Every successful economy is built around
Oh,
a...
right, I can make a megacore. That's fun. That's more fun.
What the hell? Oh. Somebody I follow is streaming. Not me, strangely enough. Phone didn't even notify me that I was streaming.
Yeah, I like those ones.
I was looking for like.
To live
Okay, actually, I've been meaning
is
to ask
to
you this.
consume.
What is that
A
freaking
multidisciplinary
cartoon character
customer
comic you keep
satisfaction specialists are always
reblogging?
just a click away. Don't let the baseless accusations of wrongdoing fool you. Our competitors is simply projecting their own insecurities.
Hello?
Here at
Hello, can you repeat
Megacorp,
that?
we always put your future
What is that
first.
cartoon character comic you keep reblogging?
Oh, Shaggy and Scoop?
Like the one where Bugs Bunny has superpowers apparently?
Yeah,
and-
that's Shag and Scoop.
What?
Or Scoob and Shag. It started as a small Scooby-Doo parody comic, but turned into some crazy shouting thing. I love it.
That sounds like... Okay, do you know Grim Tales from Down Below?
Yeah. The
That
Shadman
sounds like
thing.
that.
Wait, is that the Shadman thing?
No. It's the... Bleed... So Grim Tales from Down Below is essentially everything the webcomic.
Wait, Bleedman is Shadman, no?
Are they?
Yeah, I think so.
I... Like... Are we talking about the one where, like, Mandy and Grim... Children called Grim Jr. and Mini Mandy?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's Shadman.
Is Bleed... No. Wait, I have to Google that. You might be blowing my mind right now. Is Bleed Man Shad Man? That looks so weird to type out. Bleed Man, know your meme. Alright. Series material not saved for... Oh, piss off. No thanks, take me back to the meme zone. Alright. Real name is a Philippine comic artist. Sorry, he's known for his comics Verizim, FS2, Sugar Bits King. No, I think they're different because unless Shadman is a 4-year-old Filipino guy.
Check check Chapman separately.
Alright. Shadman, know your meme. You think both of these people are in the Encyclopedia Dramatic?
Yeah, they are.
Video game board, blah blah blah. Various on like community they are.
Blessings upon you, your holiness. Wait, let me just...
Though honestly, with how perverse Bleed Man's comics can get, I understand how you think they're the same person.
Yeah, sure, why not? Right, let us do this.
But like, Grimtails has gotten insane in the last couple of months, and I just stopped strayed so far from where it originally was. And it sounds like Scoob and Shag did the exact same thing, just for the better.
Yeah, like Scoop and the Shag at least is fun and self-aware.
Yeah. But no, Bleed Man, well, we have to give Aku a daughter, and Aku's daughter is also in
Doesn't
love
Aku
with...
already has a daughter?
I don't know. You got me. And like, but we have to make Aku's daughter in love with him's adopted daughter, who might be the daughter of Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls and Dexter, who was trained by Raven. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And they meet Spawn at some point.
Spawn, like the grimdark, edgy 90s comic character. That's Spawn.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And also the prison warden from Danny Phantom is a child now, and Danny Phantom, like evil Danny Phantom, is one of the main characters, and apparently in like a sequel comic that might not be canon but might be canon. Mandy had an affair with evil Danny, so now Grim Jr. has a brother and sister who are Danny Phantom's children, and I'm very confused. And I want to get off Mr. Bones' wild ride.
That sounds pretty good and pretty bad at the same time.
Like, okay, the comic starts with them going to Halloween Town because apparently Grim is related to Jack Skellington, because of course he is.
Why not?
And so stuff happens, and like Grim Jr. throws a tantrum because he's a small child. And so Mini Mandy wanders off somewhere and gets kidnapped by Oogie Boogie
Situation log revised.
because he's still alive for some reason. Something happens, and like now Mini Mandy has Nurgle powers, and so she dies and then passes on her Nurgle powers to Grim Jr.
What are Nurgle powers?
The Nurgle are like a race of demons from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh, okay.
They're basically just tentacles that form into whatever you want them to. Which, you know, means that Mandy had an affair with Nurgle Jr. Because Mandy apparently can't stay faithful or something. I don't know.
Scaling complete.
And so it turns out that, like, Mini Mandy has a crush on her own brother.
Okay.
And something, him is the bad guy. Angel
Potential
from
market survey completed.
freaking Spawn shows up. It's all this random stuff that keeps happening. I'm like, we were just in Halloween Town. What's happening?
That sounds insane, but you know, good insane.
And like, it just goes completely off the. And like, okay, the sequel comic tries to reel it back in a little bit, because again, it's written by somebody else, and it might not even be it can't be canon at this point, considering all the things that happened. But like the sequel comic does a lot of stuff so much better. Like they make Grimm Jr. this badass who like grew up to be resentful of his own family, besides his brother and sister that didn't do anything. And
I grow
Mini-Mandy has to be
resentful of my whore mother too.
Yeah, but then like Mini-Mandy is, because she died, so her soul had to be put in like a doll body, because comic, and so in the sequel comic they're like she can't grow up because she's stuck in this doll body.
Yeesh, that's horrifying. Like, legitimately horrifying.
Yeah, but like there's this cool in the original comic. There's like this cool thing where like the original Nurgle, like from
Upscaling complete.
inside Grimm Jr.'s head, like mentoring him. And that just gets dropped. That just gets dropped in the next chapter. Like all of this random crap keeps happening, and they turn Dexter into a villain in the sequel comic for some reason, and all this stuff, and I'm just like so confused. Because Dexter's a good guy in part of the backstory of the original comic, and I'm just like, when was this written?
Like 12 years ago.
Upscaling complete.
It's so confusing now to keep track of everything, all the references, who relates to who, and I'm just like so done with it at this point.
I used to read that comic 12 years ago when there was like 50 pages.
Future market survey complete.
I've dropped so many comics because the webcomics is that they usually don't have an end game planned. So it just keeps spiraling out of control and getting more and more complicated, more and more characters that just keep getting introduced, while other characters get put on the back burner.
Well, that's how comic book industry, the main one, works too. That's not too bad.
Well, like at least within the comic book industry, you have editors and publishers that are there 24/7. And like a lot of webcomic artists are like self-published, so they don't have those editors to like reel them back in.
I'm self-published. I don't have... Well, I have some end game, but like no plans to stop.
Well, like there's a difference between I don't know. But like this one I was reading that's called questionable content.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Which yeah, because like he was the author was doing good for a while. They would only and like, but after a certain point, there was like way too many characters that a lot of characters got put to the back burner. Like one of the original characters who was the friend of the best quote. Wait, what? Who was the best friend of the main character? And I put main character in big quotation marks so the main character keeps switching.
Mm-hmm.
But about like a third of the way through the main comic, he just disappears. Like he's just gone. And so many people complain to the author about it. They're like, hey, where'd he go? So there's just a comic where he's like, he is here. He's eating cereal. Okay, back to the story. It's just... oh. But I used to love questionable content so much, but then he's like... It's the same thing that happened to the guy who makes Dumbing of Age and all that, is that
Upscaling complete.
Well, different things, but it mostly has to do with Tumblr. Tumblr kept bearing down on the guy who makes questionable content. To the point where he stabbed his own hand twice.
What?
Yeah.
What? But please tell me you're
complete.
joking.
No. He has stabbed his own hand twice due
Outlier
to a mental
identified.
breakdown because of Tumblr.
Oh my god, that is horrible.
But like, Tumblr has just forced him to like shove more and more identities into his comic and like more and more people. Like, his whole like, questionable content. There's like robots who are kind of on the same level as people, but not really. Like they have free will, quote unquote. So like one character gets on their soapbox about robot rights, and I'm just like, you're literally a tool. I can't sympathize with any of those stories about robots trying to get rights, and I'm like, we built you. I can't.
Yeah, I'm doing a story like that, but I'm trying to do it in a nuanced way.
I can't sympathize with robots. That's my personal issue. So
And that's your thing.
yeah. So like, you know, but
Well, you can sympathize with Void Moves.
with who?
Roid Hughes.
Yeah. Well, but like I do think that questionable content, despite all of its bullshit, like shoving in towards the end, it does have one of the most respectful portrayals in a while, I think, of a trans person in a comic. Because she just sort of shows up, like when a bunch of other characters show up. She's introduced. The fact that she's trans isn't brought up until like it's important that she's like really close to a character, and she reveals that after she feels comfortable. And then it's never brought up again.
Yeah, that's how you probably should do that,
Upscaling
unless
complete.
you know you are doing their transition as part of their story arc.
Yeah, well, actually, okay, it is brought up one more time, but not in like a forced way. It's like she gets into a relationship with the main character, and then her and the main character are about to have sex for the first time. So she has to be like reassured that she is, you know, beautiful, because, you know, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, she was my favorite character for a while, not because she's trans, but just because she was well written. I do think she was a really respectful portrayal.
I see.
But then he just had to keep shoving more and more things, and eventually he introduces a robot policewoman at some point. And this character is what kind of broke the camel's back for me and made me stop reading. Because, she confronts is in the same place as another robot character that hasn't done a lot of legal things in the past.
Upscaling complete.
And that character asks them if they're one of the good police officers, quote. So then this robot policewoman then quits her job as a police officer, and her reasoning is that people shouldn't have to ask me if I'm a good police officer. So it's like a whole police brutality message. And I'm like, you can do that in a way, but the way to fix that is not to quit your job and stop being a good police officer.
True.
It's like, you don't fix the problem by no longer being part of the thing.
Outlier identified.
You just increase the ratio of bad cops to good cops.
Yeah.
Annoyed me to no end. I'm like, that's not...
You know, actually, you know how tackling robot rights in
Upscaling complete.
my work? Dear. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
You know how I tackle robot rights in my story?
Ow.
Basically, they figure out a system where they have to recoup the costs of their production if they want to go free.
Oh, okay. So it's sort of like a slave buying their own freedom back in those times.
Yeah, but because there's no other way to produce them other than, you know, waste someone else's money, use someone else's money. So it's, you know, makes a little more sense.
That makes sense to an extent. I just don't like the whole... I just don't like how the whole framing of this rant by the one character was like, she tries to get a job, and the people say they don't hire robots, which, you know, okay, that's their prerogative. And then she goes on this whole rant about how, like, it's not fair, blah, 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 and I'm like, again, you are literally a tool.
My robots,
in both the metaphorical sense and the physical.
My robots have
okay.
souls.
So you make the soul a real thing, and then, okay, that's one way to handle it, because that's always
Well,
the
magic
sort
is
of
real.
argument.
Afterlife is real, of course souls are real.
Oh, is this in the Chancery Files?
It's a parallel universe to that.
Okay.
They travel between different universes.
Okay.
Later, but much later. So at first they're separate, but they start to cross over.
Makes sense. Meanwhile, in the parallel universe where dinosaurs are real, but our dinosaurs are still alive, but also invisible.
No, not something stupid like that.
Tom Scott. Ricky Tom Scott. Meanwhile, in the alternate universe where books are hot, ow, 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 ow. Meanwhile, in an alternate universe where books are hot, proceeds to make out with a book.
What is that? Sorry, making the weed laugh again.
No, it's like that series is so. That series is so good.
What is that? I need to like watch or read that.
It's Tom Scott's Meanwhile series. I think my favorite one is like, meanwhile, in an
Research
alternate universe, where
actualized.
thinking about boobs makes your head heavy. Guy's reading a book, and suddenly his head just hits the table.
Wow. Now, what is that? I'm curious.
No, I said it's by the YouTuber Tom Scott, and the videos are just called Meanwhile, I think.
Oh. Need to watch me that. That sounds really fun.
It's just different variations of the same joke, but like with different people, but it's so good.
Look how exciting this game looks.
And after you watch this, so good.
Research actualized.
But yeah, we have souls in my universe, so it makes sense.
I think, yeah, I think
And
alternate
robots
universes can be
don't-
have.
Robots don't start out with souls, but just nobody knows why. Sometimes they randomly gain them and gain sentience as a result. And there is a lot of politics about it. It's complicated. Nobody's sure what to make of it. Everyone is trying to make it fair for everyone, but of course there's lots of tensions. And
Potential market survey completed.
I'm not trying to make it like attract for one side or another. So it's just, here is how it works. Here are our
I
problems.
think like souls in the same way that souls are your consciousness, or
It's your immortal soul, literally. In
yeah,
the-
but it's like, is it soul in the way that you need to have a soul to have consciousness, or like?
yeah,
Okay.
things without a consciousness don't have souls. Some things without a
Okay.
consciousness do have souls. They gain it over time. So like really old trees,
Upscaling complete.
really old houses, things like that.
Right.
So I can do more, mystical stuff. You know, this house is semi-sentient because it's so old. It gained a soul.
It's the yokai thing where like if something that like comes alive.
Yep.
Oh, Japanese yokai stories.
I like
Market
that. I don't
outlier
know.
identified.
A few people, remember G Surveyor on Tumblr had a whole rant about how this doesn't make sense at all. Rah rah rah. There was like, no, things that, objects cannot gain souls at all. No, it's
Upscaling
not
complete.
possible. You're doing a fantasy scenario. Why not? Jesus,
Lord.
way to be pedantic.
Yeah. I love looking into like yokai
Yeah, yokai.
stories and like the and I find that most of Kai and for any rate are just like they're basically just their Japanese fable for example, the mouth and the back of her head.
You know, for some reason we had a really bad connection, so it all came as gobbled nonsense and then the mouth at the back of the head.
Basically what I was saying that like a lot of yokai stories are just like Japanese version of fables.
Oh, yeah.
Futakachi Onna, which is the woman with the mouth in the back, was basically just a story of girls eat enough food or else you're turned into a monster.
Well, don't get anorexic.
Because Because the whole reasoning behind the Futakachiona was that it was a woman who didn't eat enough food, so her hunger manifested as a second mouth on the back of her head that would
Upscaling
not stop eating.
Ah. So kind of like I have on the front.
Oh. Or the Yukiona. It's all women that I can remember for some reason. Which is basically just, guys, don't go into blizzards. Or else this ice woman will kill you. Anyways. Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
I actually used Stellaris to test out some ideas for my sci-fi universe because I'm insane.
Colonial Enterprise upsizing.
Woo! We made the first beechwood colony on another planet.
I'm like getting every other word.
Yeah, same.
What is that? Who's
We
driving
made-
the truck out there?
We may try to restart the Discord call without stopping the stream. That could work.
Well, it's been an hour already. I think we're running low on things to say.
Yeah.
So I think that should do it for this extremely dysfunctional
Yeah.
edition.
We can do more next
uh,
time.
Yeah,
We can do
here's
more-
hoping it.
We can put in more planning next time.
Yeah. Here's to hoping it, there's not as many technical issues next time.
Here's hoping.
Thank you to
See you
everybody who
guys.
was watching during and was watching after.
Thank you guys.